Welcome yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to another video in our weekly run-through of the hottest, most interesting modifications for Skyrim on Nexus. We've got some exciting stuff to take a look at this video, and yes, we are indeed rocking a new hairstyle today, you know, just to keep things a bit fresh. But enough about that, you're here for mods, and I've got a bunch to show you. So let's start off with the outfit I'm currently wearing. Here's the Alchemist's vestments. There's many challenges for an Alchemist of Skyrim. They must scale mountains, weather blizzards, wade through swamps, all with a delicate hand and a keen eye for the regions of her work. But who's to say she can't look good doing it? The mod provides you with a practical, female-only outfit, made up of a mashup of the Thieves Guild armor, the Mage Guild apprentice robes, as well as the Barkeeper and Blacksmith sleeves, all recolored and made to look appropriate for an alchemist's work. It's the perfect look for the alchemist profession, combining the aesthetics of the Mage and the Traveler. I especially like the fur-lined hood, and the way it matches up with the lighter colored sleeves. There's also some nice subtle embroidery on the skirt and mantle. It's a very simplistic looking outfit, while at the same time looking real charming as well. It definitely fits right into the world of Tamriel with its lore-friendly look. I love these kinds of outfits that make your character look prepared for those long travels. They really do add a lot to the whole immersion. Whether you're out in the cold, relaxing at an inn, doing some hunting, sneaking, or killing Nazim for the 10,000th time, the outfit looks fit for all kinds of situations and will nicely immerse you into the action. Also, kudos to the mod author for including some nice descriptions for each individual part of the outfit in the inventory. Like for the boots, it'll say, sturdy, practical travel boots. An alchemist's work takes her far, and her boots must be up to the task. As well as the cloak, where it'll say, it's not the warmest nor the most durable of cloaks, but the time-softened threads and familiar sense of rain and loam are nevertheless comforting. Small things like this add some much appreciated personality to the mod, and you'll feel like the mod author actually cares about you, which is quite nice. The mod is currently not CBBE body side compatible, but I got full belief in the Skyrim modding community, and I do believe a port will be up on Nexus soon enough, so keep your eyes open for that. Moving on, we've got another lore-friendly, interesting weapon mod from Tryon77 in the form of Aelid Crystal Saber. In ancient times, it is believed that the Aelid elves experimented with storing great amounts of magic. They tried to create something that would inflict immense magical damage, and so they did, but at a cost. Out of this research emerged a special blade, stealing magicka from all whom suffered at the fate of touching it. Where can I find this intriguing blade, you might ask? Well, your quest begins at the Thalmor Embassy. From here on, it's up to you to find your way into the embassy, past the guards, and all potential dangers in what is a heist to obtain the sword. Now, if there's one thing I enjoy doing in Skyrim, it's killing Thalmor scum. The satisfaction I get from slitting their throat with my blade is up there with killing Nazim. So luckily for me, the mod adds many new guards. Several fake keys have been scattered amongst these guards, and you gotta find the real one. When pickpocketing the first of the guards, he was carrying this package information note which reads as follows: Carrier, it is up to you to safeguard this key. The artifact we discovered is immensely powerful Aelid craftsmanship. The weapon have been shown to have absurd properties. Several have died solely from touching it. It is a leech on magicka itself. If this weapon were to fall into the hands of either the Empire or the Stormcloaks, our magical advantages will be worth nothing. We have the weapon isolated in the basement. The risk of it being stolen is negligible at best. Now that's some fine use of words. Just follow your orders and safeguard the key. The rest of the letter explains that there are several false keys scattered about. Now, as I went on to slaughter this Almor woman, I grabbed the first key. Now, make notice of the fact that it's called a rugged key, because as I went downstairs to open a chest, it didn't work, which meant it was a false key. So after going back up and killing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Thalmor guards, I finally found the right key. And so there it was, the Aelid Crystal Sword, along with a sword recipe to craft a copy of the blade. Now, the blade's really cool and very unique, while at the same time keeping that lore-friendly look to it. This is some great creativity from the mod author's side. The hilt's got that Dwemer golden look to it, with these light blue crystals carved into it, and with the way the pommel's shaped, it really does look like the lightsaber hilts found in the Star Wars trilogy, or at least an Elder Scrolls version of it. The blade itself is of a big, long, sharp, pointy crystal that looks both intriguing and dangerous. As you all know, there are some really popular mods out there that add lightsabers to the game, but if Bethesda ever decide to include something like that to their next Elder Scrolls game, however far into the future that may be, they gotta go with something like this. This is the ultimate lore-friendly lightsaber of Skyrim. It fits with the lore, both in the way it looks and its background, and it gives your character that badass Jedi vibe as they wield it. It even lights up, as you'll see it pulsate with a light blue glow, really noticeable in the dark. It's of course a nice weapon to use in battle as well, dealing some good damage, with an added 30 points of magicka damage, and even filling empty soul gems when killing the target within 30 seconds. Oh, and it's a cursed weapon as well, as it causes all spells you may cast when the sword's equipped to cost 30% more. As I mentioned earlier, you can craft a replica version of the blade with use of the recipe book from the chest, if you want to use it without the special effects or want to have some of that dual wield crystal sword action. Or you can even pass it on to a follower, which is where we go on to the next mod of the video. Here's Rey, the last Skywalker follower. Yes, who better to accompany you on your adventures with a lightsaber-like blade than a Jedi? She is a Jedi, right? I didn't really bother to see the last two movies for various reasons, but she's definitely a character I remember quite well from the little I watched. You'll find her waiting for you in Windhelm at the Palace of Kings, where she'll be roaming about naked. So find something well suited for her to wear and bring her along as you venture out in the lands of Skyrim. Make sure to give her the crystal saber replica from the last mod as well. It's always nice to have someone to pass your stick to, especially when they look like this. Okay, now that sounded way weirder than it did in my head. She does look quite nice up close. The details on her face are well made to reflect the look of her in the movies, along with that trademark hairstyle of hers. And something I made notice of quite early is that she's very tall for some reason. Whether she's like that in the movies or my character's just really short, I do not know. Now, as is always important when getting a new companion, is to know if they can handle themselves in combat. So of course, I spawned in the most devastating foe of all the enemies in Skyrim, the mighty Frost Troll. Alright, let's see what you've got, Rey. Damn, okay, she's actually putting up a good fight. And now she's fucked. Wait, no, wait a second. Oh shit, now it's coming for me. Oh, she's finally back. Now the question is, will she actually defeat him this time? Oh, look at that. She's definitely capable of dealing damage, that's for sure. All in all, she's a great follower to bring along to your journeys, especially when paired up with the A-Lead Saber mod to make it somewhat lore-friendly rather than giving her some really overpowered lightsaber. This next mod makes a massive visual change to Skyrim. Okay, maybe not massive, but have you seen those horrible vanilla burned book textures? Just look at it. Burned books? More like textures that will burn your eyes books. Wow. How Toddy Boy and the rest of the lads let these textures into Skyrim, let alone the special edition, is just beyond me. Burned Book Retexture 4K 2K is a long-awaited sequel to the mod author's previous Ruined Book retexture. Just marvel as these burned books go from normal burned books to better burned books. Yes! Crusty, crispy, scorched, grimy, burned, all good descriptions of the finer details of the texture when looking at the details up close. The textures come in 4K, 2K and even 1K for those on the look for that. Now, as this guy states, you may think to yourself, who the fuck needs 4K textures for burned books? Well, he needs it, I need it, and trust me, so will you once you experience these top-tier burned book textures for yourself. With a nice blend of the ruined book mesh and some details crafted from scratch, you can look into the past of each inch of these books and see the remains of a past of knowledge and stories, all burned away in a matter of seconds as they've succumbed to the fiery abyss of the scorching heat. What else is there for me to say about these burned books? I do not know. They are very nice, so do yourself a favor by installing the mod. Next up is the mod Rudy HQ Standing Stones SE. This time it's not the burned books that get a texture overhaul, but the magical standing stones that have granted special powers to many heroes of the old, giving them the ability to rewrite their fate. So a texture overhaul for these stones is much appreciated, especially when they're from Rudy, who never ceases to amaze. While providing the standing stones with a more darker color, the mod certainly gives them a more rocky, worn look, which is quite immersive when you think about the fact that these standing stones have been in Skyrim for a very long time according to legend. It's of a better quality than the vanilla ones as well, as can be seen when going up close to activate them. Since the game's release back in 2011, there's been a lot of beautiful and magical screenshots up online of these stones, so most people's attitude towards these stones are certainly of appreciation and awe. And I guess there's now even more to appreciate with Rudy's wonderful texture overhaul. There's nothing like seeing these new texture stones light up in the night sky. There's also an optional file for a more moss covered metal option, which pretty much just adds adds to the whole idea of these being ancient stones from the past, making them even more immersive, with the moss showing sign of the stones succumbing to nature after all this time. Once again, Rudy's done a mighty fine job here. Now everyone, please raise your hand up if you're ready for something different, cause I am. Here's Jebulon's Corpse Movers. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that this is an underrated mod, you better believe I mean it. Shortly after installing the mod and starting up your game, you'll get this notification right here telling you that Jebulon sent you a mysterious box. How nice! Now this box certainly looks mysterious, and as you can probably tell by the design of it, it contains something of Dwemer origin. Inside, you'll find 3 spell tomes of the summoning kind. Now what do these spells do, you might wonder? Well, let's say you've been out adventuring as you do in Skyrim and found yourself in a big brawl as you also often do in Skyrim, but went a bit overboard with the killing, resulting in a widespread mess of bodies which is just really unpleasant to look at. So what do? You use one of the spells from the mysterious box, of course, and then poof, out comes an interesting little thing, and without a second thought it'll start waddling around collecting all the bodies nearby and slowly but surely pile them all up into a nice clean stack of corpses. Yes, it's quite neat. When's the last time we saw such an innovative mod? The mod is of an Elon Musk level of innovation. These corpse movers work amazingly most of the time. Alright buddy, let's get going. Oh no, come on. I believe in you, buddy. Oh, it's climbing up! What a genius. As there are 3 spells, there's also 3 vastly different looking corpse movers for you to put to use. There are 2 Dwemer themed ones, in the form of the Dwemer sphere you've already seen in action, a very sleek looking thing, as well as a Dwemer spider, which puts its long limbs nicely to use to stack piles of bodies up to perfection. And lastly, for the necromancers out there, there's also the deadly looking spectral dog, well suited for the theme of moving corpses. Had a rough night at the local tavern, or suffering from some very serious anger issues? Do not worry, these corpse movers will transform these places from messy and chaotic to a more controlled situation, with all the bodies piled up at your feet. I can definitely see this being of use when wanting to round up a bunch of bandit corpses after attacking their encampment to make sure you get to loot all the bodies. It's a very user-friendly mod. Just cast a spell on a spot where you want to make your corpse pile, stand back, and let the corpse mover get to work. They last for about 2 minutes at a time. Man, I would really like to see more mods like this. This mod was actually just a feature of a much bigger mod project planned by the mod author of a Dwemer room that would do a lot of cool stuff. I really hope we get to see more of what was planned in the future. Up next, we've got the mod Lower First Person Weapons XP32. Have you ever noticed how high up your character holds up their weapons when using the first person camera? I don't know about you guys, but if I were to go explore some cave like this in real life, I certainly wouldn't hold my weapons so far up. I mean, that would be very uncomfortable and annoying as hell, as it really wouldn't let me properly see the surrounding area. This mod aims to make weapons less intrusive, especially for dual wielding, to get a more immersive look. It does that by lowering the weapons. There are 3 options to choose from here. The first one set the highest out of them, lowering the weapons only a little, with the second one lowering them even more. The last one brings the lowest weapons placement, and while being the less intrusive, it's probably not that realistic. I mean, if you've got the arms to carry your weapons like that, well, trust me buddy, when I tell you that you should stop playing Skyrim and go over to boxing, I really mean it. Back to the mod, the options are very nice to have, as it mostly comes down to personal preference. However, it's worth mentioning that the mod is not compatible with the popular Joy of Perspective mod, which lets you see your body. Now, what I really like about the lowered weapons is that it makes exploring in first person a lot more enjoyable, as you're able to have your weapons at the ready without them hindering your field of view. So with this mod, you can definitely be sure to see any enemy that might try to sneak up on you while you're exploring. And that's it for now, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and a comment. Those are always nice to see. And of course, remember to endorse the mods on Nexus to show a little love to the mod authors. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon if you haven't already to keep up with all the uploads. This has been Gim. May your road lead you to warm sands, everybody. See ya.